Hi, I'm Tamara and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to do a video for you that I'm going to call Mbti Randoms, where I think of different questions and I answer them according to which type I think is better at that, or who would I choose in a certain scenario. And I bet you have random thoughts like that too, right? So if you think of anything, comment below. I'm gonna do these kind of like rapid fire, so there could be some that later I think, I should have answered like this instead of like that. So maybe there's one that I say and you think, I think another type actually fits that better and it would be this one because, then feel free to comment. Without further ado, let's look at my rapid fire questions that I came up with. Which MBTI type is best with animals? I think the ENFP and the ESTJ, and the reason I say that is because I've known those two types to be part of animal rescues, or to stop and check on dogs or cats or other animals or rescue them. I'm sure all the types are good at animals, but at the top of my head, those are the two that I think of right away. Which type would you call to help you win an argument? I would call an ENTP, an ENTJ, and an ESTJ. Who would you call? Which types make the best bakers? I think bakers have to be very focused, and anytime I've seen any baking show, it usually has quite a few introverts when it's really a serious show, because you gotta, it seems to almost have a different skill than just regular cooking. So I would say ISTJ, ISTPs, believe it or not, because I think they're kind of methodical and careful, like when it comes to that kind of stuff. And maybe an ESFP, because I think they can have that type of patience that it requires. Who would you want to help you plan a party? I think I would want to have an ESFJ, because they tend to be the hosts and the hostesses of the world, and I would pick probably an ESFP. Which MBTI types would you pay to see as a comedian? I think I would pick an ESTP and an ESFP. I keep picking ESFPs for everything today. I think they can tap into that arena quite well, especially the ESTP, because they're great storytellers, and I just think that they can be incredibly funny naturally. So maybe even the ENTP, if they're, because there are some that can be funny, but some are a little bit more serious than that. If you were having a problem with your cell phone, which MBTI type would you want to help you fix it? Or if you were having problems with your computers, for me, it would be hands down the INTP, because they got their own lock, hey. If you were having car trouble and there was somebody that you needed to fix your car, or there was something that needed to be repaired at your house, who are you gonna call? I'm gonna call the ISTP, because my dad is an ISTP and he can fix anything. Their minds just seem geared towards that. So which MBTI, Myers-Briggs temperament, do you think smiles the most? Hands down, NFs and SPs. So if you're having trouble identifying an MBTI type, that's one of the things that I look at. Are they really smiley? Do they smile when they talk? It's more than likely going to be an SP or an NF. So that brings me to my next question. Which SJ MBTI type do you think smiles the most? I think I've seen ISTJs smile the most, believe it or not. But I think ESFJs can laugh the most out of those types. Which MBTI type do you think is the most serious? When I think of extreme letters, I would say ISTJ would make the most extreme combination to the left, But I think the ISFJs have the tendency to be the most serious. That's just been my experience. But what has your experience been as far as who you think is the most serious? Which MBTI type do you think is the neatest? I think the ISFJ is probably the neatest because I always hear them talking about cleaning up their houses and figuring out, like, they believe that everything has a place. So that's who I would think. But I've known some ESTJs who can be extremely neat also. Some people might say ENFJs can be pretty particular about, like, I've known some ENFJs that tell me that they get mad at their families for being messy. So I don't know, you tell me what you think on that one. Which types would you call if you had a personal problem that you were going through, something that was really upsetting to you? I would call an ENFJ or an INFJ or an ENTP. I think they're good at helping with problems like that. I think you can have fun talking to them about relationship problems too. So which MBTI type do you think is the most patient? I would say an ISTP, but that might not be true for all cases. I would just say my dad is that MBTI type and he is super patient, but he's also a very, very middle child in the middle of several other siblings, and that tends to calm a person. So that's why I would say an ISTP. I've known some ESFPs who can be very impatient, and then I've known some that can actually be super patient, where I'm like, hello, let's go. Just my 2 cents. This is just a random. Who would you eat? This is some dessert. This is ice cream that I got with a dessert that I never ate. And so I had it out, I don't know. So which MBTI type would you love to share a bowl of ice cream with and just pick their brains and figure them out? Let me see, who would I pick? I think for me, I'm gonna say an INFP or an ENFP. Because they tend to be easy to talk to. That's just how I'm feeling in the moment. Tonight, I probably want to talk to a different type. Who would you want to share ice cream with? Which MBTI type do you think has the hottest temper? I'm going to say ESTJ. Maybe one of the NTs. If you weren't feeling well, which MBTI type would you want to help you to feel better? And I'm not sure, but probably one that doesn't get frazzled, but also one that's not impatient, somebody who's probably easygoing and very understanding. Which MBTI type do you think is most ambitious or would be the most aggressive with getting a job? I say probably an ENTJ, unless they were procrastinating. Sometimes they can do that. Which MBTI type do you think would be the easiest to be around? I think maybe an INFP for me, maybe an ISFP. Which MBTI type do you think is the flirtiest or that you want to get some like fun dating advice from? I would say ENFP. And then my final random question that I thought of was, which MBTI type do you think would be the most likely to succeed? Hands down, INTJs. So if you think of any other questions that you would like to explore with me, list them in the comment section below and share with me what you think of certain types. So I hope you had fun watching this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.